Assalamu alaikum students, this is SST class 7 and we are on the chapter number 6, the greatest Mughal emperor. In previous lecture we read about the Nasiruddin Humayun and today we will read about Jalaluddin Akbar is the son of Nasiruddin Humayun. We know that Nasiruddin died after falling from the stairs and he was not as bold as a king should. Now we will have some different qualities in his son and we will see how he ruled on Muslims and other religions. So I'll tell you the introduction of Jalaluddin Akbar. Jalaluddin Akbar is also called Abul Fatah and he was born in 15 October 1542 in Umarkot. Umarkot, we read in the previous chapter. Umarkot nowadays is a part of Sindh in Pakistan. The greatest of Mughal emperors of India. He reigned from 1556 to 1605 and extended Mughal power over most of the Indian subcontinent. In order to preserve the unity of his empire, Akbar adopted programs that won the loyalty of the non-Muslims populations of his era. He reformed and strengthened the central administration and also centralized his financial system. His focus was on financial system and recognized tax collection process. He recognized the tax collection process. Although he never renounced Islam, he was not only interested in Islam, but he took interest in other religions just like Hindus, Parsis, and Christians as well as Muslims to engage in religious discussion before him. He encouraged scholars, poets, painters, and musicians, making his court a center of culture. His focus was on culture, so that's why he encouraged scholars, poets, painters, musicians to purify, to show the culture. That's why he is known as the greatest of the Mughal emperors, because he was having concern in each and everything in his era. He was brilliant warrior and he was as liberal as a king should. So he was very powerful, bold, and very intelligent king. That's why he is called the greatest Mughal emperor. He ruled over the subcontinent of India. Akbar was 13 years old when he became the king, while his father Nasiruddin became king in the age of 22 and Akbar became king in the age of 13 years. He remained under Behram Khan's guardianship until he became of his age. As a child, Akbar was bright and had questioning mind. He had questioning mind. So that's why he became a successful and powerful emperor. While ruling his kingdom, he had to face rebellion of Rajputs. So he finally dealt with the Rajput. He gave the proper importance to the Rajput and you can read here that he married with the Rajput princess and at the time of his death he doubled the size of Babur's empire by conquering Rajasthan, Gujarat, Bengal, Orissa and much of the present day of Afghanistan. So he enlarged the size of his Mughal emperor. So he was very brilliant and very brave emperor. He created the harmony between the different nations of subcontinent just like Hindus, Muslims, and Persian, Central Asian in Indian styles, in harmony, art and architecture and literature all flourished under his rule. He flourished the art of architecture and literature. He was His main concern was in learning and reading. He encouraged learning the culture. He mixed the culture of Hindus, Muslim, and Akbar is known as the most liberal ruler in Indian history, but most Muslim scholars have criticized him for mixing Hindu and Islamic culture and tradition. So he introduced a new system of belief, Deen-e Ilahi. New system of belief, Deen-e Ilahi. He introduced the religion of God in his court. It contained teachings from both Islam and Hinduism. It was a new way to bringing harmony between Muslims and Hindus of India. Akbar believed by the having such religion he could keep. So you know that he mixed the Hindu and Muslim cultures in his reign, and he developed the style of art and architecture. He gave importance to the Rajputs and by marrying a princess, Rajput princess, and he also gave the importance to the other member of his era, just like poetry, painters, and furthermore, you can read from this chapter that all information is given about him, and he made happy to everyone in his kingdom. And some historians claim that he meant to be a kind of brotherhood, means that he wanted to have a brotherhood in the among the Muslims and the Hindus of subcontinent. He also abolished brutal Hindu customs like sati and child marriage. So Akbar nominated his son Salim as his heir shortly before his death. Salim came to power in 1606. So today's lecture we read about the Akbar. Akbar was the son of Nasiruddin Humayun. Jalaluddin Akbar was bold more than his father. His father was not as bold and as brilliant, but Akbar was a brilliant king, and he maintained each and everything in his era, and he create a harmony between Hindus and Muslims. After his death, he nominated Salim for his kingdom to be a king after his death. Okay. Uh, in next chapter, we will read about the Salim, son of Jalaluddin Akbar. Okay. Allah Hafiz.